we've all come together and it's warm outside. It's not like the first day. The first day there was very cold wind. And so it's good to see everybody. And for those of you who may not know yet, this is in about 6 weeks. Abhayagiri turns 25. I've been here for 25 years almost. So that's pretty amazing. And what we'll do today is just to honor the Songkran ceremonies. There will be the taking of precepts and chanting of Parittas, the protective chants, and then the Tawai Papa, the offering of cloth. After the offering cloth, there's the ceremonial hand washing, or the Song Nam Prat in Thai, and then we'll give a blessing at the end. If anybody wants to take a tour of the new construction that was just completed, you're welcome to join in a tour just up the hill, not very far, and get to see some of our newer facilities. So everybody is coming together today, and the offerings today and for the last 5 days are for Santivihara, for the new elders' residence, for the elderly and in the future dying monks. So we want to renovate it to make it wheelchair accessible and make it much more comfortable and make it better. So the money today, any money offered during this period of time is for that, but then sometimes we forget the money we offered before in previous ceremonies, like previous katina, that actually got used, and now that project has been completed. So it's good to remember many of you supported that last year, and now it's been done. So hopefully the same thing will happen with Santivihara. There's an offering now, and then at some point it'll be done, and then we'll be moving on to the next thing, whatever that is.
Paritwana metang sameta baranta awikita chita paritang banantu sage kame charupe girisikra tate chantalike vimane diperate chagame tarwana gahane gehawa tumhi kete Bhuma chayantu dewa jalatala visameyaka gandhabanaga titanta santikeyang muniwar vachanang sadavo me sunantu Buddha dasana kalo ayam paranta Dhamma savana kalo ayam paranta Sangha pairupasana kalo ayam paranta.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghāṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, ตติยังปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยังปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิเสวนาจะมาลานังปันติทานังจะเสวนาปูจาจะปูจนิยานังเอตังมังพละโมตัมมังปฏิรูปเดสวาโสจะปุเรจะกัตปุญญาตาอัตตสัมมาปณิดิจาเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังวาหุสาจันจะเสปัญจวินโยจะสุสิทิโตสุมาสิทาจะยาวาจาเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังมาตาภิกขุปัฏฐานังโมตตาราสสังฆโหอนาคุลังจะคัมมันตาเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังดานันจะธัมมจริยาจัญญาตกานังจะสังฆโหอนวาจานิคัมมานิเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังอารติเวรติภาภามาจะปานาจะสัญญโมอาปมาโลจะดัมเมสุเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังกาลโวชนิวาโตจะสันตุติจะกทัญยุตากาเลนะธัมมาสวนังเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังคันติจะโสวจาสตาสมนานันจะดาสนังกาเลนะธัมมสาคาจาเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังทโพจะพรหมจริยัญจะอริยสัจจานดาสนังเนบานสัจจิริยจะเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังพุทธัสสะโลกดัมเมหิเชตัญญาสนกัมปติอโศกังเวรจันเทมังเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังเอทันสานิคาทวานสาบัตตมปราจิตาสาบัตตโสติงยาจันติทันเตสังมันกลมุตตมันติอังเห็นจิเวนังอิลาวาหุรังวาสาเกสุวายังรัตนังปณิตังนโนสมังนาติตถากเตนะหิดัมปิบุเดรัตนังปณิตังเอเทนะสาเชนะสวัติโหตุขยังวิราคังอมทังปณิตังยะจาจกาสาจมุนิสมาหิโตนะเทนะดัมเมนะสมาธิกินจิดัมปิดัมเมรัตนังปณิตังเอเทนะสาเจนะสวัติโหตุยังบุตตเสโตปริวานยิสุจิงสมาธิมานันจริคังยมะอุสมาดินาเทนะสัมโมนะเวจติดัมปิดัมเมรัตนังปณิตังเอเทนะสาเจนะสวัติโหตุเยกุกลาสาตสัตตังปัสสัตตะจัตตาริเยสานิโยกานิหนติเทดาคิเนยสุกตาสสาวกาเอเทสุตินนานิมหาปลานิดัมปิสังเกรัตนังปณิตังเอเทนะสาเจนะสวัติโหตุเยสุปยุตตมนัสสันดาเฮนะเนกามิโนโกธรรมสาสนามิเทภาติมาตาอมทังวิกายลาดาบุลานิพุทิงบุญจมานาอิดัมปิสังเกรัตนังปณิตังเอเทนะสาเจนะสวัติโหตุกีนังปุรานังนวังนาทิสัมภวังวิราตจิตายะริเกภวัสมิเทคีนะบิจาอวิรุลิ si chanda ni banti niraya tayam garipo vidam pisange ratanam ganiyatam etena sachena suvati hoto me kanju savalokasme manasam bhavaye aparimanam buddham adochatiriyam cha sammadam averang asapatam detam charan nisino asayano ayavata savigatamito etam sating aditaya brahma metam viharam idamahudetim chadupadam asilawadasanena sampano game suvinaya gedam nahi jatu gavasaya punareti dukapata jani dukapayapata jani paya sokapata jani soka hontu sabe pipanino etavata chamne hi sambadang punya sambadang sabe dewa anumodantu sabha sampati siddhiya danam jadantu sadaya silang rakantu sabada bhavana birata hontu gachantu devata gata sabe bodha balapata pacekanam jayam balang arahantanam chate jena rakang bandam misabasoyam hinjilatanam loke vijati vividam kuturatanam buddha samannati tasma soti bhavantu te yankinchilatanam loke vijati vividam kuturatanam dhamma samannati tasma soti bhavantu te yankinchilatanam loke vijati vividam kuturatanam sangha samannati tasma soti bhavantu te bhavatu sabha mangalang rakantu sabha devata sabha buddha nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te bhavatu sabha mangalang rakantu sabha devata sabha dhamma nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te bhavatu sabha mangalang rakantu sabha devata sabha sangha bhavena sada soti bhavantu te.
Okay, so today is the final day of our New Year's gathering, the Songkran traditional bringing in the Thai New Year, and it's being brought in with a lot of wholesome activity, merit-making, bringing blessings into the world in, say, traditional traditions in Thailand. There are many things that one does at the New Year. Say the offering of respects and appreciation, gratitude to parents, to elders, to monastic teachers, to our mentors in the lay life. So it's an acknowledgement of our connection with each other in different ways through the culture, through the society, through our families. And that's a really beautiful tradition to keep, and then doing various ways of beginning a new year, as like the washing of the Buddha, the cleaning of the shrines, the cleaning of the houses. Everything would be neat and tidy, bringing in the new year. It's quite a, there's many unskillful ways that people do it as well. And that's the time of year when there's the most people dying from drunken car accidents. So, but that's not how we're doing it. We're bringing in the new year in a really skillful way that is really, there's no harm, there's no blame, there's only good coming from it. So that people have been coming here the last, we did 13th, 14th, 15th, those 3 days, and then we had a break on Friday, and then yesterday and today, Saturday, Sunday. So it's giving the opportunity for, there were a lot of people who wanted to come. I think we were only going to do it 3 days at first, but then there was all sorts of lobbying that came in. So there was more people who wanted to participate, and so we wanted to honor that and give the opportunity to people to do that. And then, as Ajahn Yaniko mentioned, there was Buddha was the one who said, well, many people have asked, what are we doing it for? What is it? What if we're going to have some kind of celebration, ceremony, offerings, what will it be used for? And so then we had to think that through. Okay, well, that's a good project that we've been talking about the last couple of years. So it'd be nice to make something that would give some momentum to that project. So that people have been extraordinarily generous, and it's been very touching, very moving to see people's willingness to help. So that when we live together, and we have to live together as human beings, it's as much as we. So I just want to go by myself somewhere off in some island. I don't have to deal with people, and most people might last 24 hours, and they're oh dear, get a bit antsy after that, and so we do. We have to live together as human beings, and learning to live together as human beings with a really skillful foundation, and that's certainly generosity in the sense of, because generosity isn't just giving things or giving money or whatever. Generosity is also giving time to people, giving attention to people, being ready to be there for people. So one's friends, one's family, just that sense of being present for people, willing to help out. That is extremely generous, and it's a really important expression of generosity. So it's really quite necessary as a foundation for how we live as human beings, and then of course the sense of like we took the precepts. Those 5 precepts are are the foundation for how we live together with a sense of trust. And so that foundation of virtue, of integrity, gives the basis for how we can live with trust. Because as human beings, you know, we're not that far from the animal realm. We managed to stand up on two legs, but we haven't gotten that much further, you know. So it's so we have very basic kind of pulls, whether it's desires or cravings, or fears, or worries, or aversions and competitions. Those are all very, they're very animal, really. But as human beings, we have the opportunity to lift ourselves up beyond that. And certainly that aspect of living in a way where we feel trust, where we feel a sense of we don't need to be fearful or suspicious. And that's a real gift. The Buddha actually called that a great gift, mahatan. Mahata, you know, really big dana. Mahatan. And because it gives the gift of compassion. Because it's compassionate to live together in a way where one doesn't have to live in fear. One has a sense of security. And so that keeping the precepts. And these are all very, it's things we all know, we've all done, we've all been introduced to, especially for the Thai people since you're little kids. But it's learning how to integrate it into our life, and that sense of being, bringing that into how we relate to each other, and that becomes a great gift, how we live with each other. So it's these are opportunities for, it's like as a new year, a reinvigorating or re-establishing our foundations in a skillful way, and the same with the taking of the in any kind of Buddhist ceremony, the first thing you do is you take refuges and precepts. Then that sense of, so really reflect, well, what refuge do I have? What are my refuges? Traditionally for a Buddhist, of course, the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And is that a refuge? Say when there's some kind of crisis arise or some kind of difficulty, what do we look to rely on, to be our refuge? And, so often, certainly in a modern materialistic society, then it's our possessions, our money, and those are, is that actually a refuge? Where if we turn to Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, is having a refuge in principles of truth, principles of awareness, a certain brightness of heart, a refuge of community. And that Sangha is not just say those of us in robes sitting up at the front. It's community, and living together with a sense of we've got a refuge in the community that we draw close to, And certainly that's seeing these last many days of people coming for the Songkran festival. It's a way of renewing community, and that's what's been really, I think, inspiring and heartwarming, is seeing the Abhayagiri community of lay people coming together to do good, like doing good together. I mean, it always feels good to be doing good, even when one's doing it on one's own. But then doing it with others is really uplifting. It's really brightening, and one recognizes, oh, that's really a refuge. So that's what we can. When we remind ourselves of that, we can be turning to that all the time. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to express my delight, my gratitude, my appreciation for all of the efforts that people have made to come up here and to help support the monastery. And may you go into this next year with the blessings of the Triple Gem, the blessings of goodness, supporting your heart and brightening your life. So, Anumodana Tutan.
ทำอะไรต่อดีคะหลวงพ่อวันที่5จำไม่ได้แล้ว
What's that? Might confused that. นั่นนะปลื้มปีติอิ่มเอิบนะพูดไม่ออกนะอิ่มบุญนะไม่กินข้าวนอนไม่หลับแน่เลือกเอา
อาจารย์เป็นต้องขอใหม่แล้ววันนี้ค่ะต้องพูดยาวๆแล้วเป็นเจ้าภาพเลยเห็นค่ะจะมีเนาะเดี๋ยวช่วงจะถามเรียบร้อยด้วยดีเดี๋ยวหลวงพ่อจะให้พรรดน้ำมนต์เป็นครั้งแรกได้น้ำมนต์ทั้งตัว
Yadhavarivaha pula palipolanti sakarang Evameva totinang hetanang upakapati Icetang matitang tumham kipameva samichato sape polandu sangapa Janho panaratso yadhamani chotira so yadha Vidyo vyojandu Sabarogo vinasatu Mate bhavadvandarayo sukirikayuko bhava Vabhivadana sirisani chakuja pachayino Chataro dhamma vadande ayuvano sukham Balang navatu sapa mangalang Rakantu sapa devata Sapa buddha nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sapa mangalang Rakantu sapa devata Sapa dhamma nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sapa mangalang rakantu sapa devata Sapa sangha nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te รดน้ำมนต์ไว้
ขยับเข้ามาใกล้ๆเลยค่ะขยับเข้ามาเลยค่ะ
Amen.